What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Playmaker journey, episode 18. After more than a month of wait, really sorry about that. I had some problems with my equipment. I ended up losing not only the footage, but I lost like previous episodes, a lot of things. It were a very hassle to get it back. That's one of the reasons it took a while for this episode to come out. I'm sorry about that, but let's go. First thing, nice to see you. It's been a while. Thank you for being patient and waiting. Talking about I have these beautiful eye field centers made by Ecorion. You can check them out on the screen right now. And if you leave a like and a subscribe and a comment on this video, one of you will be chosen at random to receive one of these in the mail. Yay! Also, you can join the Discord where we have some tournaments and I give them as a prize for the fun tournament that we have. As mentioned at the start, sadly there's no opening today because I lost everything. We opened 2 Charmers structure decks for Dark Rulers No More, and we opened the rest in 2019 Mega Packs. The exact number is on the screen. We got nothing out of those, but yeah, that's it. Sorry for keep you guys waiting. Next week we're going to have some extra matches because of the wait, and next week we're gonna have a really big opening also because of the wait. So that's it, guys. I'm really stoked to be back. Let's go into the Vrains. So here's the deck that we're going for this episode. As you can see, the main change we made is the addition of 3 Link Slayers to the main deck. I've seen some people playing that and I was like, I want to give it a try. So let's see how this one goes. We took out the Salamangreat package that we were using in the main deck, but we're still rocking the Sanctuary and the Balinks. And that's one of the main changes. And we also added like a second 2 Dark Rulers No More, another Twin Twister, one Soling Warning. Let's see how this one rocks it up for the games. As I mentioned, today we're gonna have a little bit more games, and the first game is against the Heart of the Bards. Check them out, channel, it's on the description. He is playing Dragon Maids, and unfortunately he starts just by setting a Nurse and a Imperm. Our Link Slayer appears right in the first hand to start using its effect to get rid of back row, and from now we can Rinkshokan Kodotoka. You add the Signet Codec, use a 1/1, get dot escape Rinkshokan Transkodotoka. This will trigger Signet Codec, add generator. Now we're gonna use the effect of transcode, bring code back, go for a inverted to make this cool interaction where we can add and special summon. Then we go for a X-Code Talker. Here we're just going to like making a big link climb, but our final objective is to go into Access Kodotoka, trigger its effect, get the attack boost. Then we use Access Integration to destroy the Nurse, go in for lethal, and that's game 1. For game 2, we're made to go first. We start once again with Link Slayer and the Cyberse Converter. We Rinkshokan Salamangreat Balinks, so we can add the Sanctuary to the hand, and we proceed to Rinkshokan Splash Mage, so we can get our game going. Our Splash Mage is unfortunately met by Impermanence, but we can still go into a Transcode Talker, which will bring Splash Mage back, but unfortunately they're not co-linked, so there's not much of protection for us. But we do have a Monster Reborn, so that would be like the play for next turn. He draws into a Ash, sets a Welcome and a Ice Dragon's Prison. We start by using the effect of Splash Mage, go into Transcode Talker, bring Splash Mage back, go into Access Code activates its effect, and we destroy the wrong card. He uses an Ice Dragon's Prison, gets Transcode, and gets rid of our Access Code Talker. Not much we can do about it. We could try to use Monster Reborn, but we prefer just to save it for next turn. Now we can just use Transcode's effect, bring Splash Mage back, Splash Mage uses its effect, Ring Sereia comes back, Rinkshokan Tri-Gate Wizard triggering Parallel Exceed, which will be negated by an Ash, but we do have the Reborn. Splash Mage comes back, Shooting Kodotoker is summoned, Tri-Gate with a double co-link can banish a card, we banish his Nurse, and we proceed to attack for game. So we have a good start, starting with a 1-0. Remembering we have a few extra games. The second game is against Vrains from the Discord. All the games are or other YouTubers or from people from the Discord. So once again, remember to join the Discord. Right? Hell yeah. So he's going first and he is playing Super Quantums. He starts with a reasoning. I call it a 4. I get it wrong. He gets his Fairy Alpha. Goes for the white layer sends and triggers red and blue layer, gets a second white layer to the hand, goes for a 6 Pot of Prosperity, reveals a Trick Clown, reveals the field spell, called by the grave, ends up going for the field spell, normal summons a green layer, gets a second white layer and go for his white Xyz, then with the field spell, he goes for the blue Xyz and the green Xyz. So he has a few interruptions on the board. We draw into a Silent Conflict. We go for Dotscaper. Dotscaper will be used to make a Bailings. We add Sanctuary, get this one back. He does use a Book of Moon effect of the green layer, but we still have a few ways to go. He gets rid of our Signet Codec by the effect of the blue layer, but after this, his interruptions are limited at this point. He can still negate the effect of our Transcode Talker, but he can go into a Linguribo, bring the Sea Archiver, trigger the effect of Code Talker inverted, and go for our Access Code Talker. We then are going to use Access Code to clear up the board. Set it one and attack, not for game unfortunately, but all he has is a Fairy Alpha and he draws into a blue layer. Normal summons the blue layer, uses its effect, we're going to Signet Conflict it, goes to end phase, straight to the battle phase, and we finish game 1. Game 2, he decides to go first. He starts with red layer followed by a reasoning that we tried to Ash but the Ash got called by, so reasoning is going. We call it a 1 and we get it wrong again. He goes for Danger Jackalope, activates field spell, goes for the red Xyz, gets the Fairy Alpha, Fairy Alpha is summoned, uses its effect, goes for a second red layer, adds a blue layer to the hand, gets a second red Xyz, and that's kind of a problem because that one is the complicated one. We try to go into a Bailings. Bailings will get shut down by the red layer, but we do get Dotscaper back, which will be shut down by the second red layer. At this point, I know there's not much I can do, so I just scoop it up so we can go straight to game 3. For the game 3, we decide to go first, and we luckily start with the Signet Conflict and don't get ashed in our 1-for-1. So we add Sanctuary after Link Shokening Bailings. We go for a Cyberse gadget that brings our Microcoder back to the field, and we Link Shoken into Code Talker, those adding Signet Codec. We activate the codec and we go to Linguribo because it's a really good card. We go then for a Code Talker inverted using the interaction between him, Silent Codec, and having a Cyberse in the hand. We get a Lady Debug, goes straight to the field, it's summoned, gets its effect triggered, we get Code Generator. We then go for a Transcode Talker. Transcode is going to add a second Code Generator because I miscalculated one thing there. We go for a Firewall plus Splash Mage that goes into a X Code Talker, adding a Parallel Exceed, and we set the Signet Conflict. So we have a double bounce with our Firewall Dragon and plus a Omni Negate. But we need to use them smartly. So he starts with blue layer, goes field spell. We negate the field spell because that's the one card that makes him able to make his Xyz summons. So we are going to stop that. But he still goes into white layer, goes for a Danger Nessie, gets the Alpha on the grave, and at this moment I'm like, nope, double bounce. Goes for the Danger Jackalope, Jackalope goes to the field, draws into an Ash, we draw into Microcoder. We go for a Access Code Otoka, and we trigger the effect of Firewall Dragon, trigger the effect of Access Code. Now we can just go to the battle phase and attack. Unfortunately, he does have a damage juggler, which will negate Access Code's attack. So we're going to Splash Mage using the Firewall Dragon, just because we want to get Gachiri back, so we can use Gachiri in a Link Shokan and make access code protected. That's the play here. So we do get X code back, and now we are going to make our Link Shokan into a second transcode talker just to use Gachiri's effect on access code. Done that, as you can see, unaffected by opponent's effects. It just goes for red layer targets the Alphan. Goes for now for the green layer, triggers white layer, and triggers blue layer, doing a pot of Everice. Danger Mothman, yeah, TCG Wolf, I see you there. Danger Nessie, Danger Tsukinoko. So basically he fills his board. I'm afraid of like a Link 5. He goes into a Link 3. Neo Super Quantum Mech King Blaster Magna. Look at the name, it's straight out of Power Ranger Super Sentai domain. He goes into this. This is a Link Male Archfiend. When I first saw this, I was like, wait, is this a Link 5? But then I saw, oh no, it's a Link 4. And I was like, I don't know what this does. And I won't read the card. So we just continue. While our monsters lose attack, why access code doesn't? Because it's unaffected. We draw, so we activate access code, start clearing up the field, access integration for the win till we clear up his board. He triggers the blue to shuffle some stuff, battle phase, shooting code attack, and then access code attack. But yeah, that's match number 2, so we're 2-0. Let's go for match number 3. For match number 3, we're playing against a contender from previous episodes, Yuna, and he's playing Melfy Dogmatika something. He goes first and he gets a Ecclesia plus a puppy and a catty. We go for Balinks, but I'm kinda know. Oh, he's going for a Kalinto, so he's going to stop me from playing in one way or another. So I need to be very careful. So here I'm able to go into a Code Talker, and I decided, you know what, I'm gonna go to the battle phase because this one cannot be destroyed now, and I was afraid of what he could have done before, but he ends up going into a Fleur-de-Lis. We set an impermanence and a conflict that won't do anything, and when I saw the kit being dropped on the field, I'm just like, nope, I'm out. And because of that, we go for game number 2, which I decide to go first this time. So we're gonna start Signet Codex. Sea Archiver is going to be Ring Shoken into Balinks, backup secretary on the zone pointing. We are going to trigger Codec to get our microcoder. He says no. We go Transcode Talker so we can get our code generator at least. We bring back our Code Talker and we set a warning and a strike. He starts with a Obedient School. We're going to warning that. He goes for a Rescue Cat. We're going to strike that. And he goes for an Alpha, and oh my Jesus, he has the response for everything. So yeah, there's not much we can do from this point onwards. With this on the field and the possibility of bringing a punishment, we're done here. But I think we are going to try. We go for Lady Debug, effect activates, and I'm like, yo, yeah, not much can be done. We just pass, draws into a Kalintosa, summons a Kalintosa, goes into Excited Melfys. Ecclesia and Excited Melfys attack. We are going for the draw, an Ash, Lady Debug, effect, Excited Melfys activate, Kalintosa comes back, and we lose our only monster on the field. Hence, we scoop it up. We are on a 2-1 record. Match number 4 is against Odd Eye Studios, also from the Discord. This episode we have a little bit more matches. I already said that. Yeah, I know. Sorry. So he is playing Sky Striker, and I was like, okay. We go first. We go Link Slayer, Balinks. I made a mistake in the positioning there, but that's okay. Code Talker with a Signet Codec. We can add Microcoder. By the way, we opened 3 Signet Codec. He does Ash our Transcode Talker, but unfortunately he did that before we activated the effect, which means if we can get a second copy, hint hint, on the field, we can still use Transcode's effect. And that's basically what we are going to do. Our Dotscaper does get bailed, and I do try to bring him back just because, even though I know he's not going to trigger at this point. So we go for this co-link here, Transcode plus Code Talker, cannot be targeted, this one cannot be destroyed. He starts with a Foolish Burial Good, sending a Parametal False Fusion or Metal False Fusion, which allows him to draw a card. He goes then into a Hayate. Hayate is going to send the Widow Anchor. Then he makes into a Kagari. Then he goes into a Shizuku. Then he goes into a Engage, gets a Ray. Sets 2, being one of them a Widow Anchor, has an Ash, and I'm like, I don't want my monsters to be targeted, so I'm just going to attack. Do nothing else. Normal summons Ray, going to second Hayate. Hayate sends multi-roll. It just goes into the same place, gets Ray, goes into Shizuku. Shizuku effect, adds Field Spell. We draw Cyberse Catch. I still don't want my monsters to be targeted. I go for the 1/1. It does Ash it. Just going to attack. Ray triggers, Ray come back. We attack the Ray. We pass. He draws Bell, goes for the field, uses the field spell targeting his own Widow Anchor. Obviously there's a Ray right at the top. Normal summons the Ray, goes into the third Hayate. Hayate uses its effect, sending a Rose. Goes into third Kagari, I believe. Uses the Engage again. Goes for Cosmic Cyclone on our core deck, not a problem. We had just other two. Goes into Shizuku. It's still not enough lowering in our attack points, so you can go into the battle phase, attack Shizuku, get our attacks back, Ray comes back, we can attack the Ray, Ray triggers, goes into a Kaina, we can destroy the Kaina, we pass, he is on a 300, he is scoop it up, we go for game 2. And for game 2, this is the last one of the normal matches or not, depends on the result. We go Format Skipper, gets Veilered, but once again, Veilered before this doesn't affect our Format Skipper. It will still be able to trigger, and we are still able to add Gachiri at Ignister. With Ring Shokan, Splash Mage in Perm. Okay, we do have the Reborn, so we can go into Transcode, and that's an Imperm. So we set a conflict, we pass, and he draws the Nibiru. One turn too late, my friend. Because now we do have the conflict, so next turn we can go Burr and not get worried about it. So we draw into the Lady Debug, we activate Transcode, go Splash Mage. Splash Mage is going to be able to bring Format Skipper back. Microcoder, it's used to make a X-Code Talker. We get Signed Codec, even though it's a little bit too late. We go for a Firewall Dragon, just because I want to make a really big access code at this point. So now we negate, we go into a Code Talker Inverted, we're going to add, we have a bunch of triggers. So Parallel Exceed, Gachiri, Codec, plus Firewall. We get a second Parallel, we go Update Jammer, and we go for the biggest access code we have ever done. At this moment, 6800 attack, attacking twice, we can just attack 2 and finish it off. And this finishes for the normal games to a degree with a 3-1 record, adding to our overall, which I think it's 43 now. But we have 3 challenge games. The first one is against TR7 Biohazard. He's playing Dragunity and he's going first, and this is the challenge deck. It's the Highlander version. So he starts by setting a Hurricane and a Deep Prison. We draw, we go Signet Codec, Normal Summon, Dotscaper, goes into Lingurible, such a good card. This is the reason we can do a lot of stuff in a lot of games. 1/1 for Microcoder, triggering the Spinny. As you can see, the Spinny because this is a different version of the deck. We end up adding a Data Corn to the hand, even though we're not gonna use it because we have access to Lady Debug, which is a lot better. So Lady Debug is going to be summoned. We can get Code Generator, Ring Shokan, Transcode Otoka. We're going to trigger, bring this back, Ring Shokan into Shooting Code Otoka, and Ring Shokan into Access Code, Unaffected, Battle Phase. We just attack, and this is where I made a mistake. I didn't use Access Code's effect. So I do it in the second main, and I'm like, okay, we're gonna have to wait a turn. He draws into the Ravine, starts with the Raigeki. Access Code remains on the field because of Gachiri's effect. goes for the Ravine, gets a Legionnaire, activates the Legionnaire effect, we are going to imperm it, and he's going to scoop it. And the next, and basically the last, is a best of 3 that we played with the challenge deck against Kaibaba, and he's playing a Chaos Light Swarm. If you watch Sealed Only 1v1 from Ruggles, it's basically Mario's deck, but different. So he's going first, and he starts with Chaos Space, pitching a Minerva. This triggers the Minerva. And then he goes for a Black Dragon, goes into a Chupacabra, triggers his Trick Clown, goes into a Blackluster Soldier, and passes. I believe he could have done so much more. But hey, I'm not gonna judge the way he plays. We go for a bunch of plays here, but our objective is very simple. We want to make a strong access code and finish the game. And look at this field. We go Splash Mage, brings back Armored Bytron, uses Spinny effect on Baylinks and brings Spinny back, Transcode, Shooting Code, Transcode's effect, Update Jammer, Access Code Talker can attack twice, 4800 attack, it's a scoop. So we are going first this time, and as you can see, this is like why the deck is weirdly different. We have Swap Cleric, we have Flame Buffalo, we have Cross Debug, cards that we are not using anymore in the normal version. It's a very interesting concept, I think. So we start with 1/1 for Microcoder. Flame Buffalo goes into a Baylinks. This will trigger. We add the Sanctuary and draw 2. We then go into Code Talker and we add wrongfully the Signet Mining instead of the Conflict. Oh, no, sorry. Because we already had the Conflict, we go for the Mining. Because I knew I was not gonna go into anything big. He starts activating Swords of Concealing Light. I believe, unfortunately, those will not work on Link monsters. He goes for a Raiden and a Chupacabra. Gets them both. Gets his Chaos Ruler. We're just gonna Conflict that out of the field. Goes for a Hat Tricker. We draw into Dotscaper, which is an interesting draw. We go for X-Code Talker, triggering, and we go for Access Code Talker. Get the boost, use the Access Integration, clear the field, battle, and it's game. And that will be this for this episode, guys. We have a very positive record. We're almost at the 50 wins mark. Next week, we're gonna have a big opening to compensate all the time that there were no episodes being posted. Thank you for your patience, by the way, and thank you all for the support. If you're not subscribed yet, hit that button, leave a comment. Remember, I'm giving away one of these field centers for a random person that leaves a comment on the video. So it's your chance to win one of these. We have people from the Discord that already has. Also join the Discord, participate in one tournament, and you might get one of these as well. But this is it, guys. I'll see you in the next episode. See you there. Logging out.